Ahoy, everyone, and welcome to the Zoom Room. This is David Eugene Perry with our continuing conversations with interesting people from around the country, around the world, and in this case, from a galaxy far, far away. Welcome to the Zoom Room, Duncan Jenkins, founder of one of the world's great Star Wars memorabilia collections, the Sithsonian. Welcome, Duncan.
Thanks, David.
So you are right in the middle of the Sithsonian right now, correct?
Yes, I'm surrounded by it right now. It's a great place to be.
Right. So I assume before because of the name, you're a Sith Lord, not a Jedi.
I suppose you could say that, but I do, I guess, like both sides. I collect it all, so we'll call them either or.
All right. So you collect the light and the dark side.
That's right. We won't be partial.
Right. So as a Sith Lord, boy, say that five times fast. Who is your Padawan or who was your mentor?
Oh, well, Steve is definitely Steve Sansweet, the owner of Rancho Obi-Wan, is definitely the mentor there. He's taught many a collector throughout the years, and he's definitely, in addition to a good friend, just a great collector and somebody that I really have looked up to over the years.
Great. So tell me, where is the Sithsonian located?
I'm located in Kansas City, Missouri, right in the center.
So about as Midwest as you can get.
That's right.
So, being here in California, we like to think we're the Coruscant, the center of the Star Wars universe. But the Smithsonian being located in Kansas City, I mean, they're Star Wars fans all over the world. How did you come to start collecting, and what is the Star Wars universe like there in Kansas?
Yes. So I first began collecting when I saw the movie for the very first time in the summer of '77. I was just amazed by it, as you know, many people can attest to that fact as well, that they just had never seen anything like it before. And so the natural extension of that then was to begin to try to collect the various memorabilia that was being created. And there wasn't a lot then, but I got the very first item of my collection was a trading card from Wonder Bread, and I still have that to this day, and I've just built on it ever since then. But it's fun, not only locally meeting collectors around here, but getting to go all over the world and speak to other fans and just see how it's influenced, like you said, just worldwide.
Right. And what is it about the Star Wars universe that continues not only to attract fans, but attract people who are really dedicated to so much of the good works that are done by groups like the 501st and whatnot? I mean, it's not just a fun thing, it's really a family-friendly franchise that reaches out and helps people.
You're right. I mean, it's got so many different facets to it. There's people that want to do good and make the world a better place out of their love for Star Wars. And I think it just kind of is an outpouring of, from the movies themselves, and the idea of good versus evil and the redemption of people that may be on the dark side, but there's always still hope, and that it's just making things better for the world.
Well, in a few days, we will all be in Seattle, Washington, at one of my favorite museums, the Museum of Pop Culture, MoPOP. I just think it's fantastic. I say this every time I speak to someone about it. I love taking a monorail into a museum. I just think that's so cool. Tell me a little bit about the event we're going to all be at this Saturday, and what is your part in it?
Okay, sure. So I'm on the board of directors for Rancho Obi-Wan, which, in case some of your people don't know about it, is the world's largest collection of Star Wars memorabilia. So, what you see behind me here is just a drop in the bucket compared to what Steve Sansweet has at Rancho Obi-Wan. And so this is a fundraiser that we're doing to help continue the ideas of inspiring others and being able to let people know about Rancho Obi-Wan. And so this is the first time we've actually done it outside of Petaluma, California, where Rancho Obi-Wan is housed. Normally the fundraisers have been there on site, but we had the idea to take it outside this time to a different location. And like you say, the MoPOP is just a fantastic museum. It's going to be a fantastic time to get together and just enjoy some great time with Star Wars fans.
Because there are examples of the Star Wars universe that are part of the MoPOP collection, correct?
That is correct. Yeah. So there's some unique items, some one of a kind screen used material and things that were from the movies themselves that is only available to see there at MoPOP.
Now, there's going to be an auction to raise money for the nonprofit Rancho Obi-Wan. Is any of your collection part of the auction and any other items that you know of specifically, whether they're from your collection or not, about which you're really excited and might bid on? I know I can tell you need some more stuff.
That's right, exactly. I have a few little spaces that haven't been filled in, so I'm going to see what I can find there. I think there's some really good art that is going to be up for auction. And so the various artists have either made unique pieces just for this auction or have donated lithographs and pieces of art that they have sold in the past. So I always enjoy artwork, and so Star Wars based, of course. And so that's what I'm really looking forward to. As far as items that I have donated a set of medallions that was from Celebration Europe back in 2007. The collecting track did an exclusive set of pewter medallions. There was 12 of them, and the only way to get those was to attend the talks there at Celebration Europe in London. So this is a complete set of those, and only available here, for auction now to help raise money for Rancho.
Yeah. So I'll ask you the same question that I asked Gus and all the other collectors. What is the favorite item in your collection, and what is the most valuable? And are they necessarily the same thing?
Yes, that's an interesting one. So definitely my favorite item, give you a little bit of backstory. Everybody knows about the Star Wars action figures, right? I mean, that's just so ubiquitous. Everybody either had them or knows someone that has them. They're just, all over. And just when you think of Star Wars collecting, that's pretty much one of the first things you think of. Well, in addition to the 3 3/4 inch line, there was also a large size action figure line of about 12 to 15-inch action figure size. Well, those didn't do as well, and Kenner really wanted to concentrate on the smaller figures and their main line. So they canceled the line just as Empire Strikes Back was coming out. And the very last figure that was made, they didn't make very many of them. And it was one of the bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back, the IG-88. He doesn't have any lines. He just stands there. So it didn't get very popular. But that was always one that collectors really, really wanted starting, in 1980 when they couldn't find it on the shelves. So fast forward 10 years, I'm getting ready to get married. I had told my wife that, the one thing that I was really looking for as a Star Wars collector was this IG-88, the large size action figure still in the box. And she and my mom actually tracked one down, still sealed, and bought it for me and gave it to me as a wedding present.
So I assume that you did have a Star Wars wedding.
We did not, but we did play the throne room at the very end. So as we exited to the throne rooms, John Williams song. And then we did have a groom's cake that had a Han and a Leia action figure on top. But otherwise, it's pretty traditional.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of got them, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, the world of collecting, whatever the collectible is a worldwide phenomenon. What sort of numbers are we talking about? Do you happen to know off the top of your head what is the most money anyone's paid for a Star Wars collectible? I mean, what kind of figures are we talking about? 6, 7 figures?
Yes, so one of the most recent ones that was a Boba Fett action figure that was unreleased with the rocket firing mechanism. So the actual action figure that kids got in the mail and then later on in the stores, they said, sorry, we decided the missile firing feature was a bad safety hazard. So there's only a few prototypes of those out there, and one of those just sold over $1 million. It's just unbelievable to think that, such an item like that has gone up to 7 figures.
Yeah, I wish I still had some of the tchotchkes from when I was the communications director at Yerba Buena Center for the Arts in San Francisco when we did the first ever Art of Star Wars exhibit. I remember when George Lucas, the creator himself, came through on a tour, he gave several gifts to all of us. And I had a head of C-3PO that you would open, and it was the scene where Han is in the cabana and shoots the alien, and you push a little button, the alien flies out of his seat, and you can take the Millennium Falcon and run it around. I mean, I was the biggest 32-year-old kid in the world. I did that all the time. And sadly, it has been lost to the mists of time. But boy, I still wish I had it. I could probably pay for a new house. I don't know.
Start to retire or something. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that Yerba Buena Center exhibit was fantastic, by the way. I went there and really enjoyed just getting to see a lot of the, movie collectible, not collectibles, but props and
Yeah.
pieces that went into the actual filming of the saga. Just fantastic.
Yeah, I've always said it was the most fun I ever had in my life doing my job. I'll never forget bringing Darth Vader and Boba Fett and some Imperial guards over on the ferry from San Rafael, where Skywalker Ranch is located, getting to San Francisco, and Darth Vader had the mayor of San Francisco, Frank Jordan, surrender to him. It was more fun than anyone should have working, I'm telling you. And I'm looking forward to this weekend because I think that's going to be just as much fun. In our closing moments, talk to me about what you're looking most forward to this Saturday. And I know there's some stuff we can't talk about because there's going to be some announcements and some prizes for people attending. So, those of you who are watching now, if you haven't already gotten your tickets, I'm telling you, if you are a Star Wars fan, it is worth getting to Seattle for this very special event on Saturday at MoPOP. What are you looking most forward to?
Like I think the word that you said there about just having more fun, it's just fun. Star Wars is fun. Getting to hang out with fellow collectors and fellow fans is fun. The ideas and stuff that we've got planned are going to be a lot of fun. I think everybody is just going to come away with just a big grin on their face and probably a few jaws dropping to the ground too with the announcement. So we'll see how that goes. But I just think fun is the underlying word for the day.
Well, so my last question to you is, since it's called the Sithsonian, do you have a Sith name?
I do not. So that's one of the fun things about all of the collecting, or about the fandom, is that there's so many different styles of collectors or fans, and I just pretty much concentrate on memorizing the history, collecting the history, trying to preserve that through the memorabilia. But I don't really get into as much of the cosplay or some of the other things that other fans do.
Well, I promise not to hit you with any sort of any bad energy when I'm there, but my Sith name is Darth Dominius, so we'll sign off
Nice.
with that.
That
We've been
sounds great.
speaking with Duncan Jenkins, founder of the Sithsonian, one of the world's largest Star Wars memorabilia collections, and we'll all be together this Saturday, October 5th, at Seattle's MoPOP for the fundraiser for the nonprofit Rancho Obi-Wan. Thanks, Duncan. Ahoy.